Hey, I'm Michael Green, AKA the Science Machine, and I'm excited to be here in Kentucky. Science for Everyone is actually an interactive science program, and the purpose of Science for Everyone is to generate interest in science in children at a really young age. I know that once children have the opportunity to see the program, for those children who love science, it cements that interest. And then for those children who may feel a little bit intimidated or who perhaps may not like science at all, upon seeing the show, that interest is generated. So it's a blessing to be able to be here. And I'm excited. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be awesome. We've got some cool stuff we're going to do. You got to see this. I mean, get a little piece of paper, you know, and Science Machine. Whoa. Okay, okay. Good afternoon. Now, for those of you who don't know me, most people call me the Science Machine. Say Science Machine. Science. Say it again. That was perfect, that was perfect. Now, listen up close, listen up close. I only have 2 rules, just 2. This is the first one. When I'm talking, I need you to be super, super quiet. This is perfect right here, because I don't want you to miss anything. And I'm gonna need a couple of volunteers to, oh, hands down. Oh my God. Man, this is how I choose my volunteers. So make sure you're paying close attention. Now, the first thing I do, I look to see who's talking while I'm talking. Because if you're talking while I'm talking, no matter where you're sitting, I'll see ya. And then it's hard to get up here. The second thing, if you see me do this, I'll do it again. Well, that just means I need you quiet. And the people that are crisscross applesauce, who get quiet the fastest, those are the people I call on to help me. Is that fair? Yeah! Is that fair? Yeah! Okay. Now, just so, think about it this way. What would you do if you're talking while I'm talking, and then all of a sudden, you start missing the cool stuff, like this? What would you do? See? Now, just so you know, this is not toilet paper, okay? It's not a napkin, it's not a paper towel or a piece of Kleenex tissue. This is a special piece of paper. It was invented by a scientist, and I know it looked like it was disappearing. It wasn't really disappearing. Scientists haven't figured out how to make something just disappear yet. This is what happened. On this side of the paper, I coated the paper with a special chemical. It's called nitroglycerin. Say nitroglycerin. Nitroglycerin. Good. And then on this side, I coated the paper with another chemical called cellulose. And when I set it on fire, it created a chemical reaction. And you can always tell chemical reactions because chemical reactions always give off heat. And as the paper started to burn, it burned down into particles so small that your eyes can't see the ashes falling to the floor. Now, you ready to get started? Okay. Excuse me 1 second. You're welcome. Oh, I forgot to tell you. I drink lots of water. You'll notice that throughout the show. I know how good water is for my body. And whenever I drink some water, my body tells me thank you. And so I like to take a few seconds to tell my body you're welcome. Like this. You're welcome. Now. Whoa. I didn't even know I brought this with me. You guys are lucky. Green and white hat. Come, my friend. Excellent. Now. Oh, yeah. Caught you on pajama day. Come on over here. Come on over here. Now, what's your name?
Nate.
Nate. Science Machine. Give me some. Give me some. Boom. Now, when you pull it back like that, that's the sprinkler system. So it's boom, sprinkler system. There you go. Now I should let you know, I've done this experiment over 3,000 times, literally. I've even done it on 3 different continents, which makes me international, but you know, that's another conversation. Now, the reason I say that, no one has ever been able to figure out how I do this experiment unless I tell them. That even goes for the adults. So pay close attention. I'm going to take my super string. I'm going to put it into 2 loops just like this. How many loops do you see? All right, Nate, just cut it right there. Keep cutting till you get it. There you go. Now, the reason that this is super string, what I'm going to do, I'm going to take this in right here that he just cut in half, and I'm going to put it back together again. Are you ready? Yeah! Here I go. And look, it's like brand new. It's like brand new. I told you it was incredible before I started. Now, let me show you how I did that. When I was 5 years old, I was in kindergarten. And for some reason, I decided that I was going to make myself a milkshake. And so that's what I did. So I got out the blender, I got out some ice cream, I got out the milk, scooped some ice cream into the blender, poured in the milk, plugged it in, put on the top, and turned it on. And you know what happened. No, it didn't explode. It started blending. He's like, it exploded. No, and then when it was finally ready, I realized my mom kept the cups at the top of the cabinet. I was only 5. I couldn't reach them. So what I did, I crawled up on the countertop. You've done that before, right? Yeah. And then I took the top off the blender and started drinking the milkshake right out the blender. But you know what I forgot to do? Forgot to cut it off. And you know that blade on the inside? It hit the side of my tongue like, and I was like, ah! And so now I can take the string and I'm able to insert it in my tongue in such a way that I can weave it back together with my tongue. I'm just joking. Because she was getting emotional. She was like, I appreciate you, Karen, but I was just joking. Let me show you. I took my super string. I put it into 2 loops. How many loops do you see? Now, because of the way that I put the string together to make the 2 loops, right where my hand is, the string is now connected. Let me show you. Look right where my hand is. See how it's connected right there? See that? See that right there? All because of the way that I put the string together, it's connected where my hand is. And then Nate cut it. Now, when I hold the string like this, the message that your eyes send to your brain is that this looks like 2 long pieces of string, right? But you remember how it was connected? And so this little piece right here, it's not really part of the string anymore. But if I hold it like this, it looks like 2 long pieces. So I just take that piece out. I didn't swallow anything. If I had swallowed it, then Nate wouldn't have some cool souvenirs that he could take home and save forever, like this. What? Your teacher was like, no! I'll tell you what, Nate. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna put it in my super Ziploc bag. That way you don't have to touch it. And you can just take it home and you can save it for like 20 years, because I've got a feeling that one day this is going to be so valuable. You know why? It's got my deoxyribonucleic acid all over it. Say DNA. You take that, I'll take the super scissors. Round of applause.
Back to your seat. Excellent, excellent, excellent. All right. You, pink jacket with the heart on the front. Hurry! Okay, and we'll take Under Armour, red jacket. Come, my friend, excellence. All right. Hey! Okay. Now, normally, I'd try to be a gentleman and I'd let the little girl have the seat, but for this experiment, the seat is for the fellas. There you go, big guy. All right. Now, you stand behind him. Now, you can do this experiment at home. Just make sure you practice over the sink, and then once you perfect it, then go public. Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, whatever you do, whatever you do. Now, I brought with me this morning, some cups. I have a red cup and a green cup. Well, what do you think my favorite color is? Green. It's actually yellow. Yeah. Well, that was a trick question. Now, what's your name, little girl?
Talia.
Talia! Did you say Talia? My mom was gonna name me Talia. And then at the last minute, she said, Science machine. Now, Talia, hold that right there. Awesome. Check this out. This is what you do. You get some water. We're gonna fill the cup halfway full. How much water? I never use more than half, so we'll just pour that in there. Now, what I'm gonna do next, hold it a little bit higher, Talia. I'm gonna take my index finger, find the center of the cup, and then once I find the center, flick it. And if you flick it right in the middle, it actually locks it. It locks it. So it locks it. We'll do it again. We'll do it again. Now, hold that right there, Talia. All right, now, okay, here. How much water? I never use more than half. It seems like when I use more than half, it's hard to lock it. So we'll pour that on in there. Perfect. Now, Talia, I'm gonna let you try it this time. So line it up. Perfect. Find the middle and then just flick it. Oh, you gotta flick the middle on the bottom. There you go. Now lock it. Excellent. Okay. Round of applause. Back to your seats. Excellent, excellent, excellent. All right. Now, who's gonna show their mom how they can lock it when they get home? Do that for me. Do that for me. Now. You're welcome. Now. Now. Sit up, big guy, sit up. There you go. Now, it just occurred to me, if I don't show you how I really did that, I don't want you to go home and say, hey, Mom, I want to show you what I learned in school today. Okay. So, before you all came in the gym, I got some of this stuff. This stuff is amazing. It's called sodium polyacrylate. Say sodium. Polyacrylate. Perfect. And I got some of my sodium polyacrylate, and I poured it in the bottom of each of the cups. You only need a little bit. This stuff is great. And then you get some water, pour it in there just like that. And in less than a second, see, and the sodium polyacrylate, it turned the water from a liquid into a solid. And it looks like ice. It looks like ice, but it feels like Jell-O. See? Oh. It gets better. It gets better. The reason that I love this stuff, this is why. Sodium polyacrylate. This is the same stuff that they put on the inside of a baby's diaper. What do you mean, ew? Think about this. When a baby's wearing a diaper, and they have to use the bathroom, it's the sodium polyacrylate that's inside the diaper that absorbs the moisture. It keeps the baby from getting wet. And when I do this experiment, it reminds me, ever since the time we were babies, science has been helping us, and it helps us every day. Say sodium polyacrylate.
Sodium polyacrylate.
Sodium polyacrylate. Oh, I'm sorry. I almost started freestyling right up in the gym, you know? What? Oh, don't let the green hair fool you. I drop bars now. I drop bars. See, when I rap, it's very educated, never ever exaggerated. Came to your school today and now you're all devastated. If you start to contemplate it, you might appreciate it. Liquid to a solid, sodium polyacrylate. You're not ready. You're not ready. Okay. Now.
I know.
You're welcome. Now.
All right.
Black jacket. Come, my friend. Yes, here he comes. All right. Hurry! Hurry!
There you go. All right.
Now, how you doing? What's your name? Science machine. Give me some. You did sprinkler system. There you go. Okay. Now, the reason I called you, you look like you're pretty strong. I saw you back there like, Okay. Now, you know what these are? Most people think that these are potatoes. They look like potatoes. These are actually super potatoes. They're super. Well, I got them at the supermarket. Now, if these are super potatoes, then these must be. These are actually McDonald's straws. But I get everyone with that one. Now, what I want you to do, you take that. Well, which one you want? Okay. Now what we're going to do, you take that. We're going to take our McDonald's straw and we're going to stick it straight through the potato without bending the straw. You got it? Now, I'll give you a clue. You might want to try right about there. See that divot right there? We'll do it together at the count of 3 though. You ready? Here we go. 1. Wait. You're not going to count with me. Okay, here we go. 1, 2, 3, and just stick it on through. Just stick it on. I know. Now, you want me to show you how I did that, don't you? Okay, so what we do. Take your thumb, put it on top of the straw. Good. When you put your thumb on top of the straw, all of the air that's inside the straw, it gets trapped and it can't get out. And the tiny little pieces of air, they're called air molecules. Say air molecules. And when you put your thumb on top, the air molecules begin pushing against each other inside the straw, and it makes the straw stiffer than it normally would be. So take your shoulder, push it against my shoulder. Push, push, push. That's what's happening inside the straw. All the air molecules are pushing. Okay. Okay, so what I want you to do, take your super potato, hold it as close to the end as you can, and then just give it a good bam. Okay, you ready? Right about there. 1, 2, but you gotta hit it. Don't hit and then push. You want one motion. Bam, straight through, right there. 1, 2, 3. That's, he got it. He got it. He got it. He got it. Now let me get up. There we go. All right. Round of applause. Back to your seat. Did you all hear what he just said? You didn't hear what he said? He said, when I get home, I'm getting all my mama's potatoes. And I'm just going to sit on the floor and just, yeah. Now listen up close. If you want to try this at home, you can try it at home. Just make sure you ask for your mom's permission first, because I don't want her to start wondering why there's holes in all the potatoes. Now, this is important. Pay close attention. If you take your hand, and put it around the potato like this. When the straw goes through the potato, where's it going next? That could be a problem. So you want to make sure you hold your potato as close to the end as you can, so you give yourself all this room to just hit it right through. And remember, when you put your thumb on top, it creates a lot of air pressure. So much that you can take a regular straw from McDonald's, stick it straight through a potato. Okay. Yeah. Oh. You're welcome. Yeah. Now, oh, okay. Oh, the green hat. Come, yes, I like that. Come, little dragon. Okay. Now, here. All right, now what's your name?
Wyland.
Wyland Science Machine. Oh, okay. Okay. Now, here we go. Here we go. Whoa. I didn't even know I brought you with me. You ready for this?
Yes.
Okay, here we go. Where's my, here it is, right here. Now, when I was a little boy, I used to love to draw. I used to love to color. To be honest, I still do. And when I became a scientist, one of the first things that I did was make myself a super science coloring book. This is actually the only one in the world. And as you can see, it doesn't have any pictures. Now, most coloring books have pictures because you color them in, right? Not my super science coloring book. Now come down here, big guy. All right. Stand right here for me. Face this way. Good. Now, what I want you to do, take your hand, hold it just like this. Good. Now at the count of 3, I want you to go 1, 2, 3, right at the book, okay? Don't do it in me! Okay, right at the book. Now, when he does this, I want you to watch what happens. You ready? Here we go. I'll do the counting. Okay. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Did you see it? I mean, he just drew. I know. I mean, he just drew him in there. It wasn't me. It was him. He did a great job. Now, we're going to do it again. You ready? Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Did you see it that time? I mean, usually, it's easier to see when he colors them. I mean, it's a lot easier to see when he colors. Now, one more time. You ready? Here we go. 1, 2, 3. I think he just erased them. He did. I mean, round of applause. There you go. Now, I know. You're welcome. Now, you all can borrow that if you ever need it. It really works. Okay. Now, it just occurred to me. If I don't show you how I did that, you might think that it was magic. I don't even know how to do magic. But I do know a few things about science. So let me show you how I did that. When I was making my super science coloring book, I got a pair of my super scissors. And on each page inside of the book, I cut it a special way. I cut it at a special angle. Say angle. Angle. Let me show you. So, if I take my hand and hold it down here at the bottom of the book, because of the way that I cut the blank pages, if I hold my thumb at the bottom, it only picks up the blank pages because they're all cut at the same angle. Now, if I hold my thumb at the top of the book, that's the black and white pages, see? And then if I hold it in the middle, that's all the colored pages. So at the bottom is the blank ones, at the top is the black and white, and at the middle is the color ones. You thought it was him. It was me. You did great, but it was me. Okay. I know. Now, this is pretty cool. You take a pen, any pen that has an eraser. The ink that they use for erasable pens is a special kind of ink. And so I took about 4 of these pens, maybe 5, and I doodled all over this piece of paper, see? Now what I'm gonna do next, if you apply a heat source to the ink, it actually erases, see that? It'll erase the ink, but only pens that have erasable ink. It only works with those pens. And that's pretty cool, that's pretty cool. But if you want to try this at home, if you want to try it at home, don't use a lighter because I don't want you to burn down your house, okay? You can use a hair dryer and it'll do the same thing. It'll do the same thing. Okay, and that's pretty cool. Yeah. Oh. All right. I'm looking to see who's super quiet. Crisscross applesauce. Scoot over a little bit. There you go. All right. Yes, my man. Yes, yes. All right. Here we go to save the day. Man, what is your name?
Ethan.
Ethan. Can I tell you guys something? Less than 1% of all of the people in the world have red hair. That's special stuff you got there, man. I was gonna go red, I just didn't have time. But yours is natural. Now, we're gonna put that back here. All right. Take that. Walk until I say stop. Stop! Turn! Excellent. Now, you go stand behind Ethan. All right. I brought with me today, my banner. As you can see, it says yellow, blue, orange, black, red, green, etc., etc., etc. Now, what I want for you all to do, instead of saying the word, I want you to say the color. So, instead of saying yellow, blue, orange, you'll say green, red, blue. You got it? But you can't do this. Green, red, blue. You want to try to say it as fast as you would read it. Now this is really hard, so if you mess up, don't worry about it. I'm going to give you both 2 tries. You got it? Say check 1.
Check 1.
All right, make sure you talk into the microphone. Ethan should be the only one talking. Say the color, not the word. Ready? Go.
Green, red, blue, yellow, blue, black, red, yeah.
Oh! It's all right, now you get another shot, Ethan. You get another shot, Ethan. All right, there you go, you get 2 shots. All right, say check 2.
Check 2.
Here we go. Scoot over a little bit. There we go. Ready, go.
Green, red, blue, yellow, blue, black, red, blue, green, black, red, yellow, green, blue, black, green.
Oh! Oh! So close! Round of applause! Okay. All right. You ready, little lady? Say check 1.
Check 1.
All right, here she goes. Say the color, not the word. Ready, go.
Green, red,
All right, say check 2. All right, here we go. Say the color, not the word. Ready, go.
green, red, blue,
Round of applause. There you go. All right. No. Thank you. Now, that's always hard. They say it's impossible to read it at the same rate that you would normally read. Who cares about impossible? But if you're ever asked to do this again, one way to get through it a little bit faster is when you look at each word, just look at the last letter in each word. So when you look at yellow, just look at the W. When you get to blue, just look at the E. That way you'll focus in on the color as opposed to looking at the word and then trying to switch it in your head. Does that make sense? This experiment was created in 1948. It's called the Stroop Effect. And that's awesome. Now, whoa! I didn't even know I brought this with me. Do you know what this is? This is Newton's tray. It was named after Sir Isaac Newton. Now, I usually have a pink cup. Here it is. Now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna take the cup. I know y'all weren't laughing at me. Okay. I'm gonna take my cup, put it in the center of my tray, and then I'm gonna spin the tray without the cup. Hold on. I know you're not laughing at me. When I was a little boy, my mom said to me, she said, "Science machine, if someone starts laughing at you, just think about something that you love to do." And you know what I love to do. All day long. So when people laugh at me, I don't get upset. That would be a waste of my science energy. But one thing I know, this experiment gets interesting a lot faster when I add a little water to it. Now, just to show you that there's no sodium polyacrylate in the cup, it's all water. It's in there. Now, I'll be honest, most of the laughter that I was hearing, it was coming from this direction. Who's laughing now? Now, there we go. And then you just take it. Now, this is what happened. Oh, this is what happened. When you jump up in the air, gravity pulls you to the ground. Well, when you spin something in a circle, like this tray, gravity pushes down on the tray right in the center of the tray because it's being spun in a circle. And what's in the middle of the tray? And what's inside the cup? And so the water is being pushed into the cup. The cup is being pushed into the tray, and the only way it'll come out is if I spin it real slow. Well, you know, I'm a professional. And then you just take it. You're welcome. All right. Now. Oh, yeah. Chicago Bulls, come on up here. That guy, yes. You come, yes. You, gray shirt, gray, yes. The little lady, you. There we go. Okay, how you doing? Okay. Have a seat. Now, you over here. Now, I usually keep a couple of dollars on me. I got $5. Okay, now, we're gonna have one team here and one team here. Whichever team follows the instructions, you all get the $5. Is that cool? Okay, now, wait right here. Come on over here, fellas. All right. Now, you stand right here, face that way, put your shoulder against the wall, slide your foot against the wall, your other foot, good. Now, you stand right here, same thing, get that heel on there, good. Ladies, back here. All right. We'll get you right here, face that way, shoulder against the wall, slide your foot against the wall, and you, same thing, get the heel on there. Good. Now, these are the instructions, my friends. Pay close attention. The shoulder cannot come off the wall. You got it? The foot, not even a centimeter. If the shoulder or the foot comes off the wall, the deal's over. And you're saying, what's the deal? This is the deal. All you have to do
is take your foot, the one that's not against the wall, and lift it in the air for 2 seconds, and the money is yours. But the shoulder and the foot cannot come off the wall. Are you ready? Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Everybody's stuck. All right, they're definitely stuck. And they're definitely stuck too. Now, this is what's happening, because I know you're sitting there saying to yourself, I can do it. This is what's happening. When you put your shoulder against a wall, and then you put your foot against a wall, your center of gravity gets pushed against the wall. So as long as their shoulder and foot is against that wall, it's impossible for them to lift that other foot. That's why they're like. And then the funny thing is, I know you're still sitting there saying to yourself, I don't care what he says, I know I can do it. Guess what your school has lots of? Lots of walls. So later on today, you can sneak up on one of the walls like, whoa! And when you put your shoulder and foot against the wall, you won't be able to lift this foot either, and you're gonna be like, whoa! And then when you get home today, and your mom says, how was your day? Just look at her and say, Mom, today was kind of cool. I bet I can stick you to the wall. And when your mom does the same thing, she won't be able to lift her foot either, and she's gonna be like, whoa! Whoa! Round of applause! Back to your seats, my friends. I know. Okay. You're welcome. Now! All right. I thought I turned this off. Hold on. Hello? Hey, Beyonce. I'm in Kentucky. I'm in the middle of the show. Can I call you back?
I can see it.
All right, give me about an hour. All right, tell Jay-Z I said hi. Okay. She keeps calling. She wants me to do Blue Ivy's birthday party. I told her I'd call her back. I might block her if she keeps calling me. You can't block the queen bee. I'm just joking. Now, I think I have time to give you 2 more, maybe 3, but definitely 2. And then you guys are gonna have to rock on back to class. What? You wanna do science experiments all day? That's one of the nicest things anyone's ever said to me. You're welcome. Now, check this out. Now, this summer, I was watching the news, and they were talking about this forest fire out in California. You remember that? Yeah. And the fire burned down 10,000 homes. It burned 700,000 acres of land. And you know, a football field is 100 yards. The fire was burning so fast, it was burning the length of 3 football fields every 60 seconds. And so people had to get in their cars and evacuate because they couldn't outrun the fire. And so I remember I was watching the news and I said to myself, how is it possible for a fire to spread that fast? Science machine figured it out. So, let me show you my materials. Isopropyl alcohol. Water. Bowl. Wire trash can. And my more mature audience members will certainly recognize the Lazy Susan. Yes, it's just a tray that spins, but this one's vintage. Now, couple of things we need to know. In order for a fire to burn, it has to have oxygen. No oxygen, no fire. So, if I take this alcohol, pour it in the bowl, and then I set it on fire, and then I take a lid and put it on top, the fire will go out because there is no oxygen.
Oxygen!
Now, the second thing we need to know, this is going to be our forest fire, okay? When they have these forest fires like the ones in California, there's all this heat coming up off that fire. And so the oxygen can't get to the fire this way because there's too much heat coming off the fire. So what the oxygen does is it comes in through the sides of the forest. And when that air comes in through the sides, it lifts the fire up. And whenever there's a really bad forest fire, you'll always hear the reporters talking about how windy it was. And so what happens is the air comes in through the sides, it lifts up the fire, and then the wind literally takes the fire and throws it to another part of the forest. And because the wind is just blowing and blowing and blowing, the fire just keeps getting thrown and thrown and thrown. Are you ready? Yeah! Okay. So, now, I'm gonna take my isopropyl alcohol. We're gonna use about half a cup. Say half a cup. So I'll pour you right in there like so, very nice. Place it inside my trash can. Now, when I set the alcohol on fire, I'm gonna spin the tray in a circle. It's gonna force the air to come in from the sides, and it's gonna lift the fire up. It looks just like a tornado. It's awesome. All right. Are you ready? Here we go, here we go. So I gotta get you. Oh, shh. Hold on. Okay, here we go. I forgot my matches. This should work fine. Perfect. Now, so we're gonna spin the tray, and here we go. See that? And then, as the air comes in from the sides, it just throws the fire to another part of the forest. And that's pretty awesome. I call that the fire tornado. And then you just get a little water, say see you later. There we go. And that'll take care of that. Oh, he's fighting me a little bit. There we go. I think I got it. All right. Now, that's pretty cool. So the next time you're watching the news, if there's a forest fire out in California, you just say, Mom, this is what's going on, Mom. The air's coming in through the sides of the forest. It lifts the fire up. The wind blows the fire to another direction. And she's gonna look at you like, whoa. Yeah. All right. Now, this is a bar of Ivory Soap. Say Ivory Soap. Ivory Soap. This experiment only works with Ivory Soap. It will not work with any other kind of soap, so pay close attention. Pay close attention. Now, what we're gonna do, all right. Now, what we're gonna do, we're gonna take our Ivory Soap, break it in half. I want you to break it in half with your hands, okay? I'm actually a second-degree black belt, so I'm gonna break mine a little bit differently, but I want for you to just break it in half with your hands, okay? That's how I roll. That's how I roll. So, we've got half a bar of Ivory Soap. Now, what we're gonna do, we're gonna take it, put it on a plate, stick it in the microwave for 60 seconds. 60 seconds. Man. Okay. Oh, hold on. There we go. Now, while we're waiting on that, may I tell you a story? Yeah. About 4 weeks, I guess it was about 4 months ago, one of my friends called me. He said, Science Machine, I have someone who wants to meet you. And I said, okay. And so he sent me this text message. It was the address to this restaurant. When I got to the restaurant, my friend was already there. He was sitting with this guy at this table, but they had their backs to me, so I couldn't see who he was. I walked around to the front of the table. Guess who my friend was sitting with? LeBron James. And I was like, LeBron! And LeBron looked at me and he said, Science Machine? And so, you know, we hit it off right away. And I was telling LeBron that I see kids every day. And he said, well, would you pass a message along for me? I said, absolutely. This is what LeBron James wanted me to tell you. LeBron said, I don't really care what sport you play. He said the most important thing is from this day forward, make sure every day for the rest of your life, you drink at least 8 cups of water. He said if you don't drink 8, you're not a real athlete. That's why I drink at least 10. I like to cover my bases. Now, 9, 8, 7.
6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Let's check it out. Let's check it out. Whoa! Whoa! Now, if you want to try this at home, you can try it at home. Just make sure that you ask for your mom's permission first, because if you use any other kind of soap, make sure you use Ivory Soap, because if you use any other kind of soap, it will melt and stick to the plate, and it's hard to get it off. But when they make Ivory Soap, they pump it full with a whole bunch of air. So when you put it in the microwave, when the heat from the microwave hits those little air bubbles, the air bubbles get hot. And as they get hotter and hotter and hotter, they get bigger and bigger and bigger. And that's pretty cool. You know what it smells like? Ivory Soap. Now, are you ready for the grand finale? Now, listen up close, listen up close. Shh. I'll be honest with you guys. I usually don't do this experiment. This experiment, even though it's one of my favorites, it's really hard for me to make it work, so this is what I need for you all to do. Listen up close. Shh. When I say right now, I need everyone in the room to be absolutely quiet. And this is why. If I hear you talking or if I hear you laughing, it breaks my concentration. That's why I usually don't do this experiment, because sometimes it's hard to get everyone quiet, but you guys have been following directions pretty well. But if I hear you laughing or if I hear you talking, it breaks my concentration. And then the pickle won't glow. And if you've never seen a pickle glow, I can tell you right now, it is awesome. So can you do that for me? Yeah. Okay. Now, if you're going to make a pickle glow, what's the first thing you need? Pickle. You need a pickle, exactly. And may I let you guys in on a little secret? I actually live in Atlanta, Georgia. Yeah, I came up here just special for you guys. And last night before I came up here, my wife and I went out to dinner. We try to do that at least once a week. And I was saying to her, I said, you know, honey, I am so excited about this year's pickle production. All over Georgia, harvest, 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 harvest. It's been such a blessing. Now, what I'm going to do, have you ever rubbed your feet against the carpet and built up a static electricity charge? Well, and then shock someone? Same principle. I'm going to make some of the energy that's in my body go right into the pickle. And if I do it correctly, and more importantly, if you all are super, super quiet, right through the middle of the pickle, it's just going to light up like, it's awesome. Usually takes about 10 seconds. So when I say right now, I need 10 seconds of complete silence. Can we do that? Yeah! All right, here we go, here we go. Okay, you guys ready? Okay, here we go. Right now. It didn't glow? No! You know, I learned how to do this experiment about 48 months ago, almost 4 years ago. I still remember the day that I learned how to do it. The reason that I love this experiment so much, may I be honest with you guys? I really just wanted to show your teachers, your principal, any guests that might be here, I really just wanted to show him how quiet I could make you get with a pickle. You all looked ridiculous. You were like, but this was the best part. This was the best part. I looked out the corner of my eye and I saw someone lean over to their friend and they were like, I think it's glowing. Oh man, you should see how she's looking at me right on the front row. She's looking at me like, but you're gonna make the pickle glow, right? So, I tell you what I'll do. I will make the pickle glow. Is that fair? Now, here we go. All right. Now, if you're going to make a pickle glow, after you have selected a pickle, the next thing that you have to do is build yourself a super pickle holder. I wouldn't expect you to go home today and build one that's as advanced as mine. Mine is very high tech. I actually made it out of a piece of wood. This is an old hanger, and this is duct tape. Very, very advanced. Now, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna take my super pickle, place it ever so gently in my super pickle holder. Now, what I have here is an old extension cord. And I cut this end open so I could get to the wires on the inside. And I wrapped the wires around these nails, and then I taped it on there with electrical tape. So, we'll take the positive charge and put you here, my friend. Very nice. And the negative charge goes here. Perfect. Now, what we're going to do, we're going to run some electricity right through the pickle. Inside the pickle is a whole bunch of sodium. Say sodium. Sodium. And when the electricity hits the little bits of sodium inside the pickle, the sodium's gonna start moving. And it's gonna move so fast inside the pickle, it's gonna create a bundle of energy, and the pickle's going to give off a beautiful green glow. So, at the count of 3, we'll say, glow, pickle, glow. Glow, pickle, glow.
Glow, pickle, glow. Glow, pickle, glow.
At the count of 3. You guys were jamming. You were just jamming way too early. Way too early. Now, I'm going to come back here, get the other end of my extension cord. Are you ready, my friends?
Yeah!
And then the light went dark. Oh, okay. 1, 2, 2.5. Hold on. Okay. All right. I couldn't see for a second. All right, ready? 1, 2, 3. Glow. 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 Glow pickle. Glow. 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 Yes! Glow! Glow! Yes! Okay. I know. Now, I couldn't let it glow for too long, because what we were basically doing, we were electrocuting the pickle. The pickle's not real happy about it. Gave off this terrible smell, but I've got some Glade air freshener, so that should take care of that. Now, did you guys have a good time? If someone does something for you, that's really nice, what do you say? And I just want to say, you've been wonderful. And I just want to tell you 2 times. I just want to say, thank you. Thank you. I am the science machine. I'll see you later.